blocker. Swim dodge. Fires and scores! Skipping a step. Behind the back! Pass. The extra look. And the goal! Shot on goal and good. We welcome you to Port Washington High School, where this afternoon the Varsity Media Sports Network presents this Nassau Conference A showdown between the visiting Chiefs of Massapequa, who come in with a 6-1 record, against the Vikings of Port Washington at 5-2. This game is presented by Moe's Southwest Grill. Dylan Butler, the head coach of Oyster Bay High School, Brian Soper here with you as well, and it is the start, Brian, of the second season in Nassau County. It was all about the non-league and getting yourself prepared in your first 6 or 7 games. Both of these teams fared pretty well in those opening games, and they've also got themselves in on the Varsity Media Boys Lacrosse Sweet 16. You see it there. Number 11 is Massapequa. Number 13 is Port Washington. But now is the meat of their schedule. It's Conference A, which, as we know, is a grind. And then you hope for a third season when it's for all the marbles in the postseason.
Correct, and the schedule makers got this right. We have Massapequa, Port Washington, Farmingdale's playing Oceanside. You got Syosset, right? So all those big games coming up in Class A. All the scouting's in, right? All these coaches have looked at these teams, and the scouting reports are in. And now it's time to rankings and stuff on paper, but now it's time to play and really see where it falls.
A lot of guys on both of these teams back from a year ago, but one change for Massapequa is at the very top, where head coach Mike Draper is in his first season. He's previously 7 years as an assistant at Adelphi. Of course, he's a Massapequa alum, graduate of 1999, is a physical education teacher in the district since 2005. Although it's a different person at the helm, it's still going to be the same Chiefs that we've seen, right? They're still going to be aggressive. They're still going to run hard. They're still going to have that culture that they have in Massapequa. Yeah,
Massapequa is synonymous with winning now and tough, hard lacrosse and getting guys to play at the next level and bringing college experience to the high school level. That's a tremendous thing for those student athletes, right, to get somebody who comes from the college game and can help them kind of, where they aspire to play.
Biggest difference for Draper, he said, was going from an assistant coach on the collegiate level to the head coach at high school. A lot more administrative work, which you know well. He's like, the 2 hours of practice are my 2 happiest hours of the day.
Yeah, who's in class, right? The equipment, the meetings.
What
right?
size jersey, all that kind of fun stuff.
Correct.
Chiefs, though, are led. You mentioned about winning and about playing hard. They've got a perfect leader for them in that first midfield. Our impact player there is Vin McDermott. He is going to Hofstra, 13 goals and 5 assists on the year. He's the heart and the soul of this team, a guy who can put his team on his back. You remember a couple of years ago, not dissimilar to a Garrett Gibbons, who was a guy who just did everything for the Chiefs when they last won a state, or county, Long Island, and a state championship. And again, I think in terms of the leadership role, right, not probably too dissimilar than a Ryan Tierney, right, who followed that same path.
Yeah, I mean, just hard, gritty players in between the lines and have offensive skill. Even goes further back to a Matt Zash who played at Duke, right? They have those guys who just do everything. And watching tape on him, righty, lefty, right, just kind of a dynamic player in between the lines and in the offensive end.
Port Washington, as we said, coming in at 5-2. They have they had a few common opponents, but the one that makes it kind of interesting is that Wantagh opponent, where Port Washington lost by 1 in overtime. Massapequa beat Wantagh in overtime, which maybe that means we're going to have a super close game. But Port Washington's a team that, again, they talk about the 3 different phases. They were pretty happy with their first phase. It's now about the second phase, and the guy to lead them through that, and the guy who's led them through before is Henry Haberman. We'll get to that in a moment, though, as they're going to have a pause here for the national anthem.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Here, fresh is what we do. From daily made faves like guac to mouth-watering protein like all-natural white meat chicken. Go ahead, crave, customize, and enjoy with your free chips and salsa. Roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
The best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Port Washington, and we left off talking about a guy who's been known around these parts, around Nassau County, the island, and even nationally for a couple of years now. It's Henry Haberman. A year ago, 40 goals on the season. This year, you see the numbers 24 and 10, but he's doing that, Brian, within the offense. He is the alpha male. There's no doubt about it, but he's also very much a team guy.
Just plays super hard and has the ability to kind of lean in and get his shot off whenever he wants. Total spark plug for Port Washington. And Massapequa's really going to have to shut him down today if they want to win this game. Yeah,
Pequa's got some athletic, physical poles, so that should be one of those fun game-within-a-game situations to kind of see how they get shut down or maybe even just slow down the Loyola commit. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the visitors from Massapequa. On attack, you've got Dernan, Malika, and DiTomaso. In the midfield, we mentioned McDermott, Burney, and Fitzpatrick. We expect to see a lot of Patrick Radomski as well, either as an attackman or in that midfield as well. Your face-off guy is Quinn Tucker. And then you go to the polls. First, we don't have him in our graphic, but you've got Jack Schiffel at long stick midi, but also Ryan Weiserick, another guy who competes for that as well. Your polls are D'Alessandro, Valentine, and Fountain. In the cage is Gennady. Port lineup real quick. Haberman, Krevitz, Jacobson, Meyer, McCarthy, and Feinstein. You see Papagalis at the faceoff X. Greenberg, Hillman, Gargas, and Hamroff in the cage. LSM is the guy who just lost his lid. That's Freeman. His opening faceoff goes to the Chiefs. And, Brian, we get the first look at their offense and their number 3, McDermott, leading the way.
Yeah, Coach Neal was talking about really trying to neutralize their midfielders and match their athleticism in the midfield. So let's see what we get here on the opening possession.
They go downhill a little bit with Fitzpatrick, the LIU commit. They back it back up top now. There's Burney.
Port Washington playing man-to-man.
Burney looking for some cutters. Nobody there yet, so he just hands off to Fitzpatrick.
So it's kind of like a 2-4 look, right? A little flat there across the GLE.
Fitzpatrick dodges, goes low. Wave it off. He ended up in the crease, so it'll be Port Washington ball. But look up right away, you can see it's going to be an aggressive ride by the Chiefs.
And on offense, it's the midfielders and the Dodgers from Massapequa are really good at trying to get underneath the defense, and he slipped underneath there and was pushed into the crease.
So now the Vikings with their first foray into the attack, and there is the aforementioned Haberman. Spins, lowers the shoulder, fires, and it's just wide of the cage.
That's it. That's his office right there on that right-hand side, right? That rollback dodge is really what Haberman's looking to do. Kind of like a Alexander Ovechkin, for a hockey reference, his spot.
Jacobson draws the pole. Kick it out. McCarthy. And there's Luke Meyer. He'll be on the attack line and also in the midfield. Meyer beats the stick, beats the goalie, 1-0 for Port Washington.
Nice little play there. They set a pick. They set a pick down for the left hand on Meyer. You see here, right, here comes the pick. Right, little miscommunication. He gets a little bit hit there, gives him a step, and that's all you need, right? And that's a good shot, right? Gennady a little bit far off that pipe. All right, good shot. Meyer, off stick high. Always a tough save for the goalie.
For the Dartmouth commit, his 10th of the year. And Brian, what impressed me there as well is you saw Valentine, the pole, right? He got in on the stick, but still the strength by Meyer to fight through and get the goal.
And that pick just gave him enough, right? Gave him enough of a step, right, to get that left hand free. There's the Weiserick with the ground ball.
And a hold is called, so Chiefs win the second face-off as well. And, yeah.
Weiserick's an impressive-looking pole for a sophomore.
They're really high on him. You know, you talk about a guy like a Kenny Brower, right? Currently at Duke, starting for Danowski there, and you know Draper says he thinks that when all is said and done, Weiserick could be the best pole to ever come out of Massapequa.
Super, super high praise there.
Yeah. So the Chiefs looking to even the score here. Christie steps down, switches hands, and the goal. What a pretty goal by the junior, Aiden Christie.
Great move down the alley again, get underneath. If you see here, Freeman on Port Washington kind of fake slides here, like he's going to slide, doesn't quite go, right? And I think the midi might have thought he was going to go, and it leaves Christie there for a nice underhand shot to the low side.
Hey, he really didn't have much room to free those hands, did he? It was tight space, but was still able to finish well.
I think that's one thing that's changed, right? When I played in high school, it was like you're driving that alley, you're supposed to have it in your left hand, but the right hand actually gives you some decent angles as well. Good save there by Gennady. Low shot by Haberman. Low to low, snuffed out there by Gennady.
So now Pequa. And there's McDermott. Bounces off a couple of checks. Nice pass over to Valentine, and he will clear. All of the polls for Massapequa are standouts on the football team. D'Alessandro, Valentine, Fountain, and guys, too, who are in positions where they've got to run a lot. So a lot of athleticism as well among those chief polls.
That's part of the Massapequa culture, right? Football leads to lacrosse, and it builds a team and a tough mentality.
There's Fitzpatrick.
So here they go inverting, right? Getting short stick for Fitzpatrick, who's been lighting it up lately. Let's see how Port Washington plays this.
He's got Jacobson there. You see the slide come to him. Nice pass, ducking under. Oh, Freeman comes in, and our first flag. And it just might be on the LSM as we've got a yard sale.
So it was a good hard dodge. You saw how early Port Washington slid to that, and then they skipped the ball to the backside. That's textbook lacrosse, right? Dodge on one side, swing the ball to the other side.
Yeah, we'll have a 1-minute slash against the Vikings. It's a first man up opportunity for the Chiefs as you have a conversation there at the table.
In a game that's so close on paper, right, special teams can be the key. So getting an early opportunity here in the first quarter, one, it's a big if you can stop it defensively, and then it's also big if you can get a goal here.
They work it to X.
So he's starting like a 1-3-2, right, swinging the ball around. Obviously on the defense, you got to recognize where the shooters are. And Port is in a 5-man rotation. It means all 5 guys are rotating. They're not locking anybody.
Back up top, McDermott. Fitzpatrick, Radomski. Good ball move by the Chiefs.
Good slide there, a little coma slide by number 9 coming across. That's super important and good recognition.
Pass went fired low. Durnin picked it up at GLE. Lefty rip! And the goal. A man-up opportunity goal for the Chiefs. Malika.
He was on that lefty wing, right? Nice feed from Durnin behind. You know, just a little too much space there. Step in and shoot. Right, Hofstra commit. Top corner. Huge momentum for the Chiefs.
Malika's 9th of the year. They get a man-up goal, so they're 1 for 1 in that. And they take a 2-1 lead early on here. Thought there was a hold maybe on Papagalis.
Threw a flag. Flag is down.
I think it's a 1-minute slash against the Chiefs.
So can we go a little tit for tat here? Man up goal, man up goal. Two teams that have played pretty even games versus common opponents. So let's see how they play this. Obviously, you want to find Haberman, right, as a shooter in that low corner. So let's see how Massapequa plays it.
Yeah, Krefitz down low, acting as the facilitator. There he is.
So Port starts in a 1-4. Usually out of a 1-4, you're going to pop people off the crease to change the set. Massapequa playing pretty aggressive on the man down.
And there's Haberman. Always intrigued to see who the alpha gets drawn with, and it looks like low to high shot.
Crossbar.
Hit the bar.
There's a big round ball. Maybe a little numbers here if you want it.
D'Alessandro handed off to Di Tommaso. It looks like we're even now.
As a goalie, that's your best friend, right? The pipe. We like that. But one thing about Haberman is that watching his tapes and film, he changes up his shot so well. He shoots it low and he equally shoots it high, and it's hard, right? So as a goalie, it's tough to get a scout or a read on him.
They work it to X. There's Durnin. He's got an assist on the day. Back out top to Christie. Good to see that he's back. He goes right into the cage.
Right, it's encouraging for Massapequa there, right? They did a little dodge from up top, got a step, got a shot. A little bit too easy there to get a shot, but a good save by Hamroff.
So now Port looks to maybe even the score here. Final 5.5 of this first quarter. There's Luke Meyer. Looks to dodge. Splits defenders. Meyer shoots it wide.
So Meyer going hard, right? Attacking the pole. A lot of times you'll attack the short sticks, but with a Division I commit, right? Looks like they're willing for him to take a pole.
A little behind the back shovel attempt by Krevitz.
Made famous by the Thompsons.
Yeah.
Previously that shot really didn't exist in the game, so they brought that to it.
Krevitz spins from X. Maybe a little inside roll. Yes, he does. And he scores.
Crafty finish there, right? He got to that, maybe not quite 5 by 5, maybe a 3.5 by a 3.5. Knife inside roll. You called it. You saw it coming. And no slide there for the Chiefs.
You can see him set it up well, right? Where he bodies his defender. And there's the inside roll for Krevitz, his 17th of the year, an all-county basketball player who's taken, in the words of Isaac Neal, to being coached up this year, right? So now he's got the confidence in his game, and he's shown it here as well.
Multi-sport athletes, super, all those games kind of transitioned into each other, right? Just watching the video back, they were in kind of an open set, which means there was no crease. So when he inside roll, there's no crease guy to slide there. It would have had to come from the guy who was playing behind. So good recognition to go with no slide.
Jacobson, bouncer through a pair of defenders.
So one thing I've noticed about Gennady is that he plays kind of a high arc, right? So he's kind of closer to the shooter than a lot of goalies. So he's challenging angles and things like that.
Picking the ball up the carpet is Ryan Fountain, another one of those football guys. Fountain. Splits defenders. Fountain still has it. Oh, he lost it last second. And now Port comes the other way. It's Matt Hillman. Hands off to Freeman. They go pole to pole, but it gets intercepted by a pole and a flag. So Massapequa will go man up right now. Let's see the call. I think it'll be a cross check, I believe.
So Massapequa will go up man up again, right? The last opportunity they had, they scored on it.
Here comes the call from, or at least he's going to pick up his flag, it looks like. So it'll be a minute for the Chiefs. They are 1 for 1 with the man up.
Little sloppy there. Both teams in the clearing game led to a turnover. All right, led to a foul in the middle of the field. So Port again going man down.
McDermott puts it back into play. Hands off to Radomski. Going to Sienna, son of the former head coach, Tim Radomski. There's Patrick up top.
Quick ball movement here from Massapequa.
McDermott to Radomski. Gets it right back.
So kind of like a 1-4, right? A high and a low crease in there. Radomski cuts there, down to the crease again.
No attempts at cage yet.
You can hear it up here. Port Washington's communicating very well on the man down, right? Getting out the shooters.
Look to the crease. Radomski. Looks like he was denied there by Hammeroff.
Kind of lull you to sleep with that ball movement, and then they whip us a little feed to the crease there, and a good stop.
So we're even. So the Chiefs now 1 of 2 with the man up.
That was a nice feed by McDermott.
Now Hammeroff's got to try to clear. They swing it to Hillman, the junior. Gets it ahead to Balomo.
Good job by Port there, clearing. Nice patient clear, right, getting it over. And now they can set up their offense.
It's Meyer. He's got Valentine, who's going to the Merchant Marine Academy.
Yeah, both him and Di Tommaso going to Merchant Marine Academy. Going to play for Danny Passione, who took over the program this year. I played with Danny at UMass.
Meyer, oh, he's eaten up well by the aforementioned Valentine. What a job with the stick check. Ground ball picked up by D'Alessandro, and he can run for days. D'Alessandro in the clear. Quick pass for Durnan. Picks it up off the turf as we're under 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
Right, good job, right? Good job in the clear. Good job getting the ball on the ground. Right, it's really important when you get the ball on the ground to get it out and to not give Port any second chance opportunities.
Up top is Christie's got a goal on the game already. Out on him is Gavin Jacobson, who will play both attack and midfield. And the funny thing is I said to Isaac Neal, I said, who are some of your D-middies as we're getting our charts together? He said, no. You've got to play on the other side of the ball. We don't have set D-middies. That's a low shot. And eating it after the shot was Fitzpatrick.
So a little ISO from up top, 1-4, and the popped out high there for a low-to-low shot.
Fitzpatrick's got space, and that one wide and a little bit chippy right now, as we would expect in a conference A showdown.
Yeah, Coach Neal said he was talking about rivalry, and he was like, I don't know if we can call it a rivalry. We beat them one time, right? I think he said in 14 years or something like that. But, you know, Port Washington really, really thinks this is the year they can get it done.
Oh, what a move inside. Another flag is thrown. The save by Hamroff, denying Malika, and another man-up opportunity for the Chiefs.
Yeah, so Malika looks like he caught that kind of backhanded with a shovel. Good stop by Hamroff. Kind of going a little bit low, dropping down a bit, right, taking that one in the chest.
His 4th save of the first quarter. And Freeman picked up the infraction, which hurts you because he's one of your better poles.
For sure, and that's the aggression, right? He's a super energy guy. He's aggressive, but sometimes he needs to rein it in, and you don't need him sitting in the box for you.
That's something that Neil said that they've worked on and have been pretty good through the first 7 games. But of course, as you mentioned, right, when you see Massapequa on the other side, you get the juices flowing a little bit, and sometimes a little bit too much. There's McDermott. They work it to X. Firing from the top. Oh, what a great save by Hamroff. The bouncer.
He's had a tremendous finish to this quarter. He might want to hold it here, right? Because for the man up, they'll keep possession with no face-off.
And he does wisely.
Very smart. Good save. Smart.
Well, we thought we'd have a close game, and we do just that. It is Massapequa and Port Washington level at 2 in this Nassau Conference A showdown, presented by Moe's Southwest Grill on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Get your sombrero out because the celebration is about to start, and at Moe's, we are ready to cater it. Are you looking for a reason? Let's talk about 5 reasons to fiesta. 1. Moms. 2. Teachers. 3. Nurses. 4. Us. 5. You. Let's get fresh. With Moe's Catering, you can feed any occasion and fiesta like you mean it.
Welcome back to Port Washington. The Vikings and the Chiefs of Massapequa are tied at 2. And we want to remind you, our proud sponsor here today is Moe's Southwest Grill, now with 15 locations on the island. Hey, Cinco de Mayo is right around the corner, right? They're going to have a 5 times points through their app. Also, the first 50 customers in store will get a free Cinco t-shirt. They also have Teacher Appreciation, Nurses Week, and Mother's Day all coming up. Don't forget to place your catering orders to show your appreciation. And we're going to show our appreciation of Moe's at halftime, where Brian and I will get to sample some of their burritos, which is always fun to do, and especially after a good first half. So we didn't get your order, so there's like 5 different kinds. So when we get close to halftime, we'll have you pick out one that you like.
For sure, right? And definitely at the end of that first quarter, right? Hamroff for Port Washington, he was eating pretty good there with a bunch of saves.
Yeah, they'll be hungry when this one's over. They'll want some Moe's, no doubt. So the Chiefs start the second quarter still on the man up.
So they, with the possession at the end of the first quarter, right now, Port starts with the ball and give it to Meyer, who's doing the little punt return there. The punt return clear is always a reliable one, especially with a Division I guy. Yeah,
now the Vikings should be set up pretty well, right? You pass the ball around a little bit here, you kill off that man down.
There couldn't have been too much time left in that foul.
Yeah, I see Freeman right now getting ready to go back to the table. Little push from behind is called. So it will stay with Port Washington. And there's Haberman.
This is where he loves to operate.
Backs down as defender. Haberman turns, fires, and scores! Henry Haberman gives the Vikings the 3-2 lead.
That's his spot. He loves to get underneath there. He's so good at getting leverage on his defender. He leans in. He's a very tough cover, right? Leans in, uses his body, Comes out of a roll, shoots it. A little bit of a screen there when you use the defender as a screen. Great shot, great move. That's what you hope for. You clear it out of this first quarter, kill the penalty, and then you get a goal.
You know what he reminded me of there, and obviously they're both Division I guys. One guy's the top recruit in the country, but not unlike Joey Spallina there, right? Where a smaller sized guy, but still pretty big, and using or inviting that athleticism, or I'm sorry, that physicality to get the goal.
It's that shoulder dip and the ability to shoot out of a dodge that's what separates people. Loyola, Syracuse, getting your hands free is what's most important.
There's Kravitz handing off. Coming out of the box there was Jacobson. And there's Haberman. One thing you love, too, about Haberman, right? And again, he finds different places here to affect the game. Spins, turns, fires over the cage, but we've seen him down low. We've seen him operate from up top.
And same thing, right? The shot's coming right out of that dodge, right? So as a defender and as a goalie, you're always on your toes. You're always thinking shot.
Meyer will put it back into play. Turns, draws the double, kicks it out. That was a good job by Weiserick to force it, and what a ground ball picked up. And here come the Chiefs. That's Ryan Fountain.
Nice slide. Weiserick slid adjacent there and kind of slid into the face there and forced a turnover.
And that was one of the conversations when we spoke to the coaches, and Isaac Neal said, we've got to match their athleticism. We've got to get those ground balls. And that's something, those two things are synonymous with Massapequa lacrosse. Here's McDermott. Up top, he draws a shorty matchup, so will he try to exploit it? You figure the slide's coming, it does. Hands off. DiTommaso fakes the pass.
I think it's a zone.
Nearly blowing a tire there was Christie. And they work it to X. That's where Durnin operates. Small but shifty. Turns, fires, and scores.
Some miscommunication there on defense. I thought it maybe looked like a little bit of a zone look, but maybe not. But you see here, it's not even a pick. It's kind of like a clear through here at the GLE. It does set a pick there. Miscommunication, way too much space. Hands free, lower corner against a taller goalie. That low corner there, that's a very difficult stop. I played goalie as a right-hander. I find that shot from there to the low corner is one of the tougher ones to make.
Durnin's 12th goal of the season ties it at 3.
Pick game is so important.
How about this change here, too? At the faceoff X, you go pole.
Yeah, the last faceoff they won pretty clean, so just changing it up. Oh, there you go. Yard sale.
So Massapequa comes away with it, and it's Durnin. And that's a thing, too, that is maybe a little bit different of this Massapequa team this year, where we've seen over the years, right, name them, Angelo Petrakis being the most recent probably, right, but always incredible guys at the faceoff X. There's not necessarily that guy this year, so a little bit of a different situation for Massapequa.
And I think that's what makes them good is that they have a bunch of guys who just kind of play together and they like each other. They play hard together. And there's not necessarily that one name.
Extra pass. Good job defensively. You saw 15 there. Hudson Greenberg, not the biggest, but the senior who started a year ago at LSM. There's a nice save. Well, the ball will stay with Massapequa.
So the defense looks like some kind of hybrid, little bit of a man-to-man with the little zone principles in, where they're kind of playing areas and having some designated slide people. Just really having it packed in pretty tight.
There's DiTommaso. He gets pulled. They swing it to the left now to McDermott. Working off a screen. McDermott Hands free, fires high.
Good shot, right? Gets to the middle of the field. Good shot. I watched a lot of film on McDermott. He tended to bounce the ball a lot, so I like to see that he's mixing up his shot there. Last time Hamroff got him on a bounce shot, so high shot there, mixing up his shots.
There's Radomski, hands off.
See, it seems like they're shifting around and getting onto different people's hands. Not necessarily, doesn't seem like they really care who's guarding who.
McDermott tries to shed the check. Splits defenders. That one got blocked in front. Going for it was Hamroff. Can he scoop it up? He did.
Good stop by the Vikings. Little bit of a one-on-one there with McDermott. Got a double team, and they were able to get the ball on the ground.
Freeman flings it upfield. Finds Meyer. Big week for both of these teams. A lot of games on the Varsity Media Sports Network as well. Firing, shooting it just wide was Jacobson.
He's a big-time shooter. He didn't miss that one by much. Got the alley. Nice overhand bounce shot.
He'll go to Binghamton in a year's time. Here's Krebitz.
So you see how they set a pick there, and there was no crease, right? So it really makes it tough for them to designate who's sliding.
Krebitz saved well by Gennady. He hasn't had a lot to do, but
that's big, right? It's big to start, to in the second quarter to make that. Maybe that's his first save of the quarter, right?
Yep.
But it's important to get yourself some confidence.
There's Fountain as the Chiefs clear. There's Dito. DiTomaso, lefty, quick, shifty. Great change of direction guy. Great vision as well. And as we were saying off air, Brian, part of a lacrosse legacy.
Yeah. Uncle John, right, is maybe one of the best defensemen to ever play. Dad James was also a pole at Johns Hopkins. Coaches' kids usually have some really good lacrosse IQ.
Good slide to McDermott. Is forced to back it back out. They work it to X.
Good stick in the lane there.
And knocked down by Hillman. And here comes Freeman. This is where you got to look out for the long pole. Freeman, the pass, Haberman, and that's knocked down by the pole. We go the other way.
That's great stuff by both teams defensively, getting a stick in the lane, tipping passes.
That was D'Alessandro who made the tip for the Chiefs. And they get the ball back 3-3 under 5 to play in this first half.
D'Alessandro's a great-looking athlete, football player, right, who's really starting to figure out lacrosse. And, as his lacrosse skill catches up with his athleticism, look out.
Yeah, that's the thing. You speak to Draper, and he says, as there's a lefty shot, nice save by Hamroff, low to low.
Yeah, dropping down good. Good stop. However, didn't control the rebound, so the Chiefs stay with it.
DiTomaso. Hands off. But, going back to D'Alessandro, he's got some D3 football looks, but some pretty high-end lacrosse schools starting some early inquiries. And, that could be if he decides to just stick with lacrosse and be a lacrosse-only guy going forward, that could really work out well for him.
He's what a lot of coaches are looking for, that senior who doesn't have a home, who can, they can mold into a really tough defenseman, right? You can't teach athleticism and toughness, but
you're not so worried about the stick.
No,
the stick is going to come around.
He's going to come playing year-round lacrosse, right? He's not used to doing that. He's football and multi-sports, and when you play year-round in a top program, things change.
Here's Jacobson.
So you see how spaced out they are.
Haberman switches to his left, turns. Ooh, he got hammered and just bounced off of it. Not a problem for him. They go low in the goal. Meyer, his second.
Great job. That's a team goal right there. That's Haberman. Good scout, right? Good scout by Massapequa. Knowing the rollback. Good hit. He sheds it. Right. One more pass there to the backside to Meyer. Gotta love a lefty in that spot, right? That's easy, right? Lefties make their living on that spot. But again, the ability to like take that hit, to bounce off, to move it, and then the extra pass, that's just tremendous job.
Meyer now 11 goals, and as a junior, really kind of starting to buy into his role of the guy to do whatever is asked of him, right? So at times we'll see him play the attack. Most games he'll start there. This game he started as a midi. A football wide receiver as well. Super unselfish is Luke Meyer. So Fountain is the pole. Can't scoop up the GB. It's loose.
So you see they're going double pole right on the face-off, right? You got Fountain, you got Weiserick, and it's successful there, but there's that man again, right? Number 33, picking up a ground ball with his pole.
And a timeout by Port. Yeah, Freeman is a beast, right? And he'll go to Boston University, and when you look at the different polls for Port Washington, Freeman's the guy with 3 goals, right? And that speaks obviously to his athleticism and his ability to get down the field. And he's also like having another coach on the field, right? So he still plays aggressive, which you need. You can't take it all away from him, but as you mentioned before, the talk with Neal and Freeman is about trying to get him to do less, right? And the ability to understand and differentiate between speeding it up and then slowing it down as well.
I had a pretty light day at school today, and I watched some of the highlight films, and Freeman's 7-minute and 18 highlight film is pretty impressive, especially in the middle of the field. Toe drags, roll dodges, right, just with that pole. And you know, when you can handle that pole like a short stick, right, that's scary for a lot of coaches in the clearing game.
See our upcoming schedule for you. We're right back here at Port as John Calabria's Braves come to town Friday afternoon. And then it's a big Saturday slate, right? We start off with the rivalry between Massapequa and Farmingdale. That's noon. And then the granddaddy of them all, the 138th Woodstick Classic between Garden City and Manhasset under the lights at Manhasset, which should add a little extra flavor, as if you need any more in that matchup.
2 of the all-time, you think Long Island lacrosse, it's Manhasset, it's Garden City, and just a tremendous. It's an all-day thing, right? They have they have alumni games and they raise money. It's
the girls are playing.
It's a tremendous.
The younger levels are playing
for sure.
Off the timeout, Port Washington looking
zone
to extend their lead.
So they played a little zone against Wantagh and were successful with it. So here you see it out of a timeout.
Haberman.
So a 3-3 type zone here. Let's see what Port Washington does for a zone offense.
McCarthy wants it here on this left side.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sideways 3-3 look here. That's kind of the latest rage for the zone offenses. See, it's kind of 3-3 on both sides.
Kravitz to his office. Pops it back out to Haberman. Load high, rip was wide.
So Massapequa, that's kind of what you want, right? You want shots from the outside. You want to limit the dodging of Haberman, who's hurt you a couple times already. So real nice move by Coach Draper here, coming out with a zone.
That was Jacobson with the shot.
And you got the Weiserick in the middle of that 3-3, just a presence.
Look inside. Bouncer was short by McCarthy. Ooh, and some flags after some physicality after that shot.
Good feed by Haberman inside. Wasn't really in a position to catch that and shoot with much power, but was able to draw a foul.
See the conversation among the officials. We'll get the call here as they go to the table. See if we can pick this one up, Brian, across the field.
It was definitely a little bit chippy there after the release of the shot.
Are they even? Do they both have one in? Or Fountain? Yeah, it's 5-on-5 right now.
So the ref's sending a bit of a message there that they're not going to take any of that.
Kravitz, a little extra room to operate, goes side netting.
Yeah, slide came quick. You know, perhaps taking an extra step maybe would have opened that net up a little bit more.
Oh, and just miscommunication looks like. Chiefs unable to save it.
Yeah, just an errant pass. You know, the old adage, a taller man would have had it.
And there's Haberman.
So now you're 5-on-5, right? So you're playing man-to-man again. They're not in that zone.
That's another low to high rip by Meyer.
Good skip pass. Good skip, quick shot. So 5-on-5 is a little scarier, right? There's more room out there for the offense and more room here for Haberman to dodge to that cage.
Yeah, not that you want to give this guy any extra room, right? There he goes to the cage. Good job by Gennady getting big.
And good job on the defense, not letting him get to the middle, right? Kind of forced him to take that shot left-handed with very little angle, tried to sneak it in the short side. Good stop, good D. And Haberman left-handed is kind of better than his right hand if you're the defensive coach.
A little unsettled. Looks like we'll get settled now. Final 25 seconds. Chiefs looking to maybe end this half by tying the game, and first they'll wisely talk it over. Why not, right? Set up your final shot of the first half.
So this is where you have a little chess match, right? You got two huddles, right, talking about how we're going to stop them, and one how we're going to get the best shot possible here.
You want to bring your game to life? It's a Varsity Media Sportscast. We've got announcers, multiple cameras, instant replay, and graphics. It's great for your rivalry games, senior day, just general promotion of your team. Contact us to book a Sportscast, 516-403-2050, or visit varsitymedia.net. In our conversation with Draper said about his team's first 7 games, he thinks that their athleticism, the Chiefs, is through the roof. He's been impressed by their ability to move the ball and adjust. It's very important for a high school team, and their will to compete, that never-give-up mentality, and just keep going is something else that has impressed him. He said, we've gone up, we've gone down, we've lost in overtime, we've won in overtime, but feels that Massapequa is going in the right direction.
Battle tested for sure. You play, Massapequa, Port Washington. They play the best competition, non-league, in the league. So it's all for this moment right here when you get into that conference play, that second half of the season, where all that work in the offseason and all that scouting and all that player development really pays off.
Yeah, Massapequa's 2 games outside of Nassau County were wins over Bayport, Blue Point, and Scarsdale, and they were leading in their game against Comac before Lightning called that game in the second quarter.
So here you go. Port Washington comes out in the zone here. I love it.
McDermott. Bouncer wide. Still loose in front. Look out.
So you got to love that chess match, right? Massapequa shows zone. Port Washington shows zone, right? So you're in the huddle probably drawing up a play for man-to-man, and then you see a zone come out.
And that does it for the first half. We thought we'd have a close game, a physical game, and it has delivered thus far. It is Port Washington with a 4-3 lead over Massapequa in this Nassau Conference A showdown presented by Moe's Southwest Grill on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Welcome to Moe's! At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Wanta up tempo, but showing some patience now, and Taylor pays it off. Oh man, what a shot!
Mindel. There's a shot, score!
Guess who? Mr. West.
That was Brady West. He finishes off the hat trick. Trying to get a little insurance here. Agers on the far side. Agers in front. Fires a shot.
Yep.
He scores!
Good play.
Down by just one. And Lacrosse changes that to a 2-goal lead once again for St. Anthony's. These teams will be at even strength after the shot. Newman dunks it in. Was she inside the crease? Doesn't seem like it, and we're all tied up at 8. So it's Diskay attacking and scoring! Sayas ties it up at 2. I thought you phrased it well earlier. He's a guy with different gears, and he's very aware of all those gears, and he gets another goal here.
Behind the cage, good look. Overhead shot and a goal. McChaney. Hot hands, McChaney. Dodges on Smith. McChaney!
Oh, wow. McChaney, yeah, nice take.
On one with Mahoney, who hasn't seen a shot in a long time, and she'll beat her. Cabrera gets Northport back within 3.
Now rolling topside, taking a look to the cutter on the inside. Ball game! Ball game! Garden City! Caitlin McNabo!
Another split dodge. Another one maybe to the cage and another goal!
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Dodges to the cage, fires high and scores. Oh, what a look from Max, and there's the finish in front. And how about that one? Fighting off the challenge was Darcy, and she pulls Sacred Heart to within 1. And welcome back to Port Washington. It's 4-3 the lead for the Vikings in this Nassau Conference A showdown. Now comes one of the more fun parts of being a broadcaster, Brian, and we've had a few of these, right? Pinnell got his taste literally earlier this year with Small Batch in Garden City, and now you get a chance here. You get to sample some of the fine burritos here by Moe's Southwest Grill. Again, wanted to remind everybody, Cinco de Mayo is coming up, right, May 5th. So they'll have 5 times the points through their app. The first 50 customers who come in to the store will get a free Cinco t-shirt. We've also got Teacher Appreciation, Nurses Week, Mother's Day all coming up. Don't forget to place your catering order. And listen, if you're on the island, which of course you are, you're watching this, there's 15 different Moe's locations all throughout the island. You can't go very far on this island without finding a Moe's. You see this cool little box here they've got set up for us. And all right, Brian, let's get into it.
Go.
Let's dig in, right?
I got some chicken.
Brian, you've got the chicken. I've got the steak. Right, it's a pretty cool box too. I'll show you real quick if I could get it here. I don't know if you can see here. I don't want to drop all my steak here, but they've got a nice setup here with the chips in here. You've got the sauce and everything. All right.
Nothing like those chips.
Ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Right, here we go.
Yes.
I love the combination, right? You got the steak, the beans, the rice. Nice flavor, right? Not too hot. I'm not a big spicy guy.
Nope.
But you got a nice combination here. What do you think about yours?
Yeah, mine's very good. Definitely hungry all day. Right. I had some practice today and came here, and it's definitely hits the spot. It's tremendous.
Yeah, so listen, man, Moe's has a little bit of everything for you, right? We've got our burritos here. You've got chips as well, the queso, the whole thing. Terrific location. Again, 15 locations throughout Long Island. You want to, of course, go to Moe's and listen, Cinco de Mayo is right around the corner, man. Like, there's nothing better. I mean, not that you need Cinco de Mayo to have a great burrito, but burrito, Cinco de Mayo, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, gotta go to Moe's. That used to be Modell's, but now it fits perfectly for Moe's. There's one in Garden City right around the corner from where I live, and
there we go.
We're regular
customers.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Another quick break, and cheers. Thanks, Moe's, and we'll have the second half when we return.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Welcome back to Port Washington High School. As the second half about to start, Dylan Butler here with Brian Soper, 4-3 the lead for Port Washington.
Double poles again on the wing. I even heard from some people that there's some games where they've gone triple pole on the face-offs.
Still loose. This one hasn't been corralled yet.
This is Class A lacrosse right there.
Yeah.
The ball's on the ground. Who's going to come out with it?
So the two teams were even, although you get a failure, it looks like, right, to advance?
Yeah, failure to advance. Was in that corner for quite a bit.
5-4 now, the face-off edge for Port Washington. Not a lot separating these teams, right? In the first half, it was fairly even, but that's what we expected coming in.
For sure. I thought Massapequa early on, had more shots on the net, and then I thought the second half of that, right, Port Washington started to have some possessions there. Man up helps, right? Man up is possessions, and a couple of man ups there for Port Washington to end that second quarter. Here's the zone.
Hey, love the chess match here between the coaches. Different looks defensively for both. It's Meyer. Hands off to Haberman.
It's a big win for them against Wantor. They had some success in it, so why not go back to it?
Windy day here off of Campus Drive. Haberman. And this is big for both teams. They go low, again, blocked in front by the pole. But this is a big one, right? Both teams are 1-0, right? But this is the first, you'd say, real Conference A showdown between these two teams.
I was saying in the beginning, it's like the schedule maker knew, and all these big games are coming up, and it's just awesome for Long Island lacrosse.
Pequot doesn't opt to push the pace, and they'll go a little settled now on their first offensive foray of the second half.
Definitely a positive for Massapequa to get two stops. When they've gone zone, they've gotten two stops, so that's super confident on the defensive end. Let's see if they can crack open here with an offensive goal.
Christie goes left, right, kicks it back out to McDermott. Bouncer off the bar. Shot by Bernie. So both teams have rung the ball off the iron.
Good bounce shot, right? Goalie dropped low, right? Bernie, Stony Brook commit.
Yeah, he's a great stretch shooter. Really good shot from the outside. Cerebral kid as well. Kind of that do-it-all kind of guy.
Goalie's best friend strikes again.
If that's your best friend, then what about a super aggressive takeaway pole? Is he like your...
Love that. If I was to come back reincarnated, I would like to be a takeaway pole. But this is what Massapequa, they really like to do here. They like to be patient in the 6-on-6 game and really work their matchups until they get what they like.
Turnaround shot fired wide by Bernie. That's one of the things, too, that was funny in our conversations with Draper. He said, one, it's the administrative work that he wasn't used to, and also the shot clock, right? You go from college lacrosse, as you know well, right? You deal with the shot clock, and now it's like, oh, wait, you can be a little bit more patient in our sets.
So it looks like they're pushing out a little bit. They're trying to limit the touches for McDermott. I mean, this is already over a minute possession, and, not a lot of teams like to dig in defensively for a minute and a half, right? At some point, someone's going to take a bad approach, and you're going to get what you want offensively.
McDermott goes towards the shorty. The slide comes. The bouncer. Oh, low to high.
Watch out on the street.
Yeah, Christie with the shot.
So you just see all the attention he draws, right? He made one little move to the cage, and he had two guys sliding and his defender. So other people are going to be open.
Christie gets it back. Oh, pumps the brakes. Oh, difficult pass. Thought he was trying to get it to Durnin, and what a sliding save. Is it over and back? It is not.
Wow.
What an effort. You got to credit Bernie with the diving save.
Tremendous effort there. You know, that's a rivalry. Class A lacrosse is selling out for a ground ball.
And that's one that you coaches, you mark down, man. Like, talk about the things that don't necessarily end up in the stat sheet that really can impact the game.
Winning plays can happen at any time during the game. So Coach Gilardi, Coach Brazel at Stony Brook, they're going to love to see that.
Bernie gets hammered. Looks like it'll be Freeman again. It was with the infraction. So a guy who's kind of been towing that line has gone over a little bit here as there's a shot and a goal. I thought maybe it went wide, but it snuck in by McDermott. And I think they're going to keep this penalty as well.
So McDermott here, right, attacking, flags down, so you kind of have a free possession here, quick rollback, frees his hand, bounce shot. I watched film today on McDermott, and he's a bounce shooter, high bounce shots. That's where he makes his living there, and, you know, that makes a coach proud. High overhand bounce shots right to the lower corners.
So Freeman's second infraction will be a 1-minute cross check. And again, it looks like is it a double pole? Again on the face-off.
Yeah, they want to just make it. They want to make it dirty here on the wings and just, you know, free up 11 here to come scoop it up.
Papagalis doing his best job. Christie.
That's great if he can get it over.
He does get it. Huge face-off win.
Now you got to work. He's out. Oh, a little late.
Oh, and some chatter as well. As Weiserick had a few words.
That's an impressive athlete right there. And like you said, Coach Draper has the highest praise for him. And
and they lose it out of midfield.
You love to see that confidence, too. I'm not a big guy who loves, little woofing and trash talking, but it shows a level of confidence.
And look at this. Belomo down the field. High to high. Denied. What a save by Gennady, robbing Meyer.
Mark that down. 4-4, 6:42. Big stop. Kind of a jailbreak, breakaway situation. Little fake to the far side, come back, tuck it in, and Gennady was patient and plucked that one right out of the air.
Still a man up here for the Chiefs. Meyer, as we're even now, looked like he nearly had too much time. Like he was one-on-one forever. One of those old-school shootout type of situations.
As a goalie, I find the hardest thing there if he's going lefty is for him to keep his feet moving and just kind of finish around the goalie. Instead, he kind of like gave the goalie a chance by hanging on that side.
Bernie backs up.
1-4 here.
Bernie gets by the shorty, swings it, split dodge, low shot wide by Radomski.
So that was a little mumbo look, right? 1-4, outside picks for inside, and Radomski popped for an open shot, right? He's a shooter, right? Going to Siena, that's a good spot for him.
And another one of those, right? Obviously, his dad's the former coach now, but coach's son, right? So super cerebral, great lacrosse IQ. Look at Durnin, tries to go far post, despite having 3 Vikings all over him. Back to McDermott.
3
Chased.
guys.
Shot. Oh, blocked in front again.
That was part of his highlight film, too. He took a couple of shots. So, tremendous job by Freeman to eat that one.
Listen, man, it's one thing when you're a hockey guy and you still got all that padding, but when you're a lacrosse dude, man, you've got nothing there.
as a goalie, you love it, right? Because you're not wearing anything either. A guy willing to step in there, step in for you, and take a shot. That's great.
4-4 with 4:44 left in this third quarter as Port gets the clear. Just has a different feel, this one, than maybe some of those other early season games. A little more on the line. There's a shot and a goal. How about that one from Jacobson? The Binghamton commit gives the Vikings a 5-4 lead.
So Massapequa went right into that zone, and the best way to beat a zone is to stretch shoot and get on the outside. Defender doesn't quite respect his shot, and there you go. Boom, right top corner.
And look, you've got Haberman as your alpha, right? But you've got Meyer as well going to Dartmouth and Jacobson going to Binghamton. So at times he could be that go-to guy, right? But he's fine with letting the game come to him. He's not overwhelmed with trying to make too many plays or do too much. And you love that as a coach.
For sure, and that's just confident, right? He was patient, right? Kind of feeling it out, and was definitely not afraid to pull that one.
And Papagala's starting to feel it a little bit now. He's won his last two as Port has taken a 5-4 lead, and they've got the ball back.
Yeah, so those clean face-off wins are nice because then you don't have a chance for those poles to get in there and start whacking away.
Look out!
Oh.
And there is a flag. And we'll see. This will be an interesting call, Brian, I think, because flying in was Valentine and really Belomo. First it was from behind, but also I don't even think Belomo got the ball yet. So you almost wonder here, is this possibly one of those unreleasables?
Definitely took a run at him. He saw it. He saw his back.
Michael Valentine.
Let's see the call. An elbow. Looks like it'll be a 1 minute.
The fact that it wasn't to the head and that it was to the back is probably why they're not locking him in. Those headshots are the ones that draw those fouls. Definitely a point of emphasis the last few years for the referees.
Big chance here for Port, though, in the final 4 minutes of this third quarter. Neither team's had a 2-goal lead just yet. Vikings have that chance here.
So again, Haberman and find Jacobson as well. Just had a nice shot.
So Chris crossing at the cage, in front of the cage at the crease.
Little wheel look here, carry.
Meyer. Jacobson to X. Krevitz, quick pass out front, low to low, bouncer, and Giannotti makes the save.
That was an easy one. I was just about to say that it was a patient man up, and you'd be okay, right? You'd be okay with to go to 6-on-6 and get a possession. Kind of a bit of a forced shot there by Meyer, but a good save by Giannotti.
Yeah, I want that one back. I think if you're Port and the Chiefs get a clear, which is critical because you'll likely now. And they are even. McDermott ducks under a check. There's that bouncer you mentioned. And a good-looking save by Hamroff.
Good save. Got handcuffed a little bit, but he's aggressive, right? Step to the ball. Hit him in the chest.
And another flag out at midfield.
That last save by Giannotti was important because he made that big one on the breakaway, and then there was a high score on him, and then to get that next one after a goal is super important.
So let's see what the call is here. Looks, I think D. Tomat, was he going off? No. Well, Neal's not happy. Oh, this is going to be against, it'll be 30 seconds on McCarthy. So first 30-second man-up opportunity, which again I think speaks to this kind of match, right? Everything else has been 1 minute. You kind of earn your spot in there.
Very important for Port to keep their composure here and understand that they have a lead and that they don't want to start living in the box. And they want to kind of stay out of there, so to kind of keep their composure.
Now, only 1 of 4 right now has been Massapequa. But certainly in terms of maybe the over-aggression, it's been more Vikings in this game. 4 penalties to the 2, although they each had a guy off at the same time. Step down, shot and a goal. Radomski, the man-up opportunity goal, and we are tied at 5.
Good ball movement, right? Swing it from one side to the other. And you have a perfect trigger man at the top there with McDermott. Little kind of seal there. Right, trigger man there. McDermott. Look, that's a tremendous job by Radomski. Stepping to that ball, climbing the hash mark, high and away. Fundamental, great shot. But just how many kids stand there and wait for that ball rather than meeting the ball? That's a tremendous job by him. And again, a coach's son.
Yeah. 13th goal of the year for the Siena-bound Radomski. We've got a timeout.
Big momentum goal there. You know, Port in the box, man-up goal, ties it. There's always something about those high goals that stick in a corner that add a little extra momentum.
A little extra zest, would you say? A little extra zing? Well, I want to thank Moe's Southwest Grill, who they also bring a little bit of extra taste, right, as well. Don't forget to place your catering orders for all special events. Again, 15 different locations on Long Island. One, I think the closest to here is Greenvale, but out in Oceanside, Franklin Square, East Meadow, Garden City for you, Brian. Belmore, Pequa, Plainview. I sound like the train conductor now, right? Massapequa Park. But yeah, listen, Moe's is great. Cinco de Mayo, of course, is May 5th. They'll have 5 times the points through their app. And the first 50 customers in store will get a free Cinco shirt. You'll love the swag giveaways. Also, upcoming promotions, you got Teacher Appreciation, Nurses Week, and Mother's Day. So don't forget to place your catering orders to show your appreciation.
That last shot by Radomski was definitely tasty.
Nice. You've earned your burrito. But yeah, again, a lacrosse family, right? Dad, longtime coach at Massapequa. Sister Kerry is a junior, I think, now on the VCU women's lacrosse team, and obviously, as you mentioned, Patrick will go on in 2 years to Siena. So that's one of those situations when you're the dad. I got a lot of traveling going on. You're going up to Albany, going down south as well, but you love it.
So I like that timeout by Coach Draper. You have a little momentum, and you want to get a possession there. It'd be really huge to score out of it.
Di Tommaso.
Got a short stick.
He's got McCarthy on him. Oh, nearly put him on the grounds. Kicks it back out to Malika. Good size on Malika.
So I think what you're seeing is that midfield is kind of the danger spot for Massapequa, and you're getting two of the short sticks are guarding the Massapequa attackmen.
Quick ball movement again. Oh, great look down low. Great job with the slide, though. That was 32. Gargis.
Just didn't want to put that in his left hand.
Low to high, wide.
Good ball movement, right? They slid early, Port Washington, and what a tremendous job sharing the ball, getting it to the backside. Just caught it in his right hand without much angle. So Port lives to fight another day here, 6-on-6.
Malika lowers the shoulder. Will he go inside? No, goes for the pass off Radomski's stick into Freeman's, though.
I like the cut by Radomski, just unlucky there. Nice little cut.
Ooh, Freeman, a dangerous pass across, nearly picked off. Good backhand pickup there by McCarthy to get the clear.
A lot of not some tight windows there in the clear, right? But they got it there. That's awesome.
So final minute, you probably expect, considering how much defending Port has done recently, that they'll hold here for the last.
Zone. This is a big momentum. Score a goal here or get a stop.
And, Brian, you've got the last couple faceoffs gone your way, too.
For sure.
Meyer hands off.
See, Jacobs has got a little more hop in his step after that top corner shot, so he's looking to get his hands free. There it is.
There he does, and off the bar.
Third pipe today for both teams.
9.4 left, and here comes Haberman. He'll have a go, right? Haberman to his left, turns. Dunk down low, count it! And some, you know what this is going to be? It's going to be some taunting here on McCarthy, as soon as he scored, he was chirping a little bit too much, but he does beat the buzzer.
That was
the goal.
Amazing short possession here. Right, you think Haberman's going to shoot? He passes it. You think it's short time? Great feed there. Finds a little sweet spot in the high slot there, and buries the ball low and away.
And wow, how about this? That's an unreleasable penalty on the taunt. So we'll see what that will do here when we return. It's 6-5 for the Vikings in this hotly contested Nassau Conference A game presented by Moe's Southwest Grill on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Get your sombrero out because the celebration is about to start, and at Moe's, we are ready to cater it. Are you looking for a reason? Let's talk about 5 reasons to fiesta. 1. Moms. 2. Teachers. 3. Nurses. 4. Us. 5. You. Let's get fresh. With Moe's Catering, you can feed any occasion and fiesta like you mean it.
Welcome back to Port Washington. Dylan Butler and Brian Soper with you. It's been a barn burner as expected in Port Washington. They're going to have to run through a little bit of a gauntlet here early on. Both teams will as you kind of enter your conference play. Let's take a look at their upcoming schedule. Syosset, proud program, of course. You got Plainview, JFK, Valley Stream, and then the Dalers, right? So that's your next 4 if you're Port Washington. It doesn't get any easier if you're Massapequa, because they've got a tough slate as well. They got the rivalry game with Farmingdale, Oceanside, right? Much improved team, Rob Blount's guys, and Hempstead and Uniondale as well. Now is the part of the year that you prepare for. This is why you play your first 7 games and you try different things, and you know, winning and losing wasn't so important in those first 7. You always want to win, of course, but you're trying to get yourself situated in the best way for these conference games.
That schedule comes out. You look for those games. Where's Oceanside? Where's Farmingdale? Are we home or away? Right?
That's what we did as a broadcasting.
Yeah, sure.
When's the Dalers? When are the Dalers playing the Chiefs?
And I'm on a bunch of those. So
there you go.
I'm a Hicksville guy originally, so I'm a Class A guy. So I love to see these teams competing.
Yeah, you and Cromwell.
Good stop.
Nice save inside by Hammeroff. And again, this is another flag. And Neal is beside himself.
So this has kind of been the bugaboo for Port Washington for the last few years, is just having a little composure and staying out of the box and controlling your aggression in these big games. So
just before the half, or right at the half, right, you had a 2-minute, an unreleasable against the goal scorer. That was McCarthy, right? Now you've got Freeman in there for the 3rd time. This is for a minute. So it's 6-on-4 for a minute for the Chiefs looking to tie the score.
And without your best pole. You know, you're down 2, you got 4 poles, and your best guy's in the box.
Chiefs trying to capitalize here. Extra pass, step down, shot wide of the cage by Radomski.
Same spot, climb the hash. That didn't miss by much. So if you're Port, you got to recognize that that's 2 times in a row that he's got his hands free in a good spot.
Certainly a lot more room now to have those hands free. You've got 1 back now for the Vikings, and that shot bounced. Looks like it deflected in front. Oh, what a save! Body's flying. It'll be a push. We'll stay with Massapequa, but a tremendous stop by Hammeroff.
You had the block knocked down by Hillman, and then a loose ball, and you think you got an empty net goal there, and boom, right? Great save coming across. 10:48, 4th quarter. Circle that one. Big stop.
And again, this is with still one man of an advantage. You were 2 men up a moment ago, and now you're even. What a job by Port cutting out both of those penalties.
Tremendous, right? Tremendous job. But again, moving forward, right, you do not want to be in the box this much against, the Farmingdales, the Syosets, the Oceansides of the world.
There's McDermott. He's got the short pole. Radomski. He's got to pull it back out. Here's Malika.
With a short stick. Not sure if that's a scout or just how it kind of works out in the rotation.
Malika, here comes the slide. Quick ball movement to the other side by the Chiefs. Up top, low to high. Hammer off again.
Christie with the shot. He's unconscious right now. As a former goalie, when you get in that zone, it kind of looks like a beach ball.
Unofficially, we've got him for 11 saves now. Oh, and a little bouncer off the clear. That's one he wants back.
Definitely, right? You make a save like that, the last thing you want to do is allow Massapequa to get that ball back. And you gotta stop him again. You've been man down, 2 men down. You make a save, and now here you are playing more defense.
And you got to wonder, right, just how long can they go, right, before kind of, as there's a shot wide by Radomski.
Yeah, Massapequa kind of has them on a bit of like a hamster wheel, right? They're kind of moving. They're trying to get the shooters. So Massapequa has to be very happy with the kind of shots that they're getting in the 6-on-6.
Bernie on Feinstein. To Radomski.
They just share the ball so well. There's really no guy who's like, it's hard. When 6 guys play together and all have different attributes, it makes it a tough cover.
Malika. Hands off. There's McDermott. McDermott had that late winner, a game we had for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network against MacArthur.
Hillman played great defense there. He's just a really kind of a position guy who really sits down low and plays great fundamental defense.
The slides are coming, but
it's a zone. It's some kind of zone, hybrid zone look where they're kind of playing areas and passing people off and not afraid to slide.
Step down bouncer by Bernie.
So you see 32 is just not really playing anyone. He's like a designated slide guy. Now he keeps going back and forth for X.
Yeah, that's Freeman, who's so far found himself with 3 flags thrown against him today. There's another step down bouncer in goal. And we are tied. Will Bernie gets the goal.
Nice move. You see here, little shake, right? Get to the middle of the field. Little split. Boom, right? Gets a step. No one sliding. Boom, right? Hammer off. Little late getting his stick down there. 5-hole. Nice shot. Nice move. Port had been sliding really early to that, and then there's no slide, so hands free, Stony Brook commit. That's an easy one.
Yeah, Bernie's 7th of the year, big one for him, tied at 6.
2
Great
poles.
face-off one there. And here come the Chiefs, unsettled. Step down shot. Oh, hammer off again.
Off hip. Good shot, good save.
And again, right, rinse and repeat, unfortunately, for Port Washington. You do the dirty work, the hard work, and Hammeroff, I think, is still feeling it.
Yeah, that could have been in the gut or even off hip. Sometimes that thumb, when you come underneath with that thumb, it gets exposed.
Yeah, it was a stinger for sure. And listen, he's a gamer. He'll stay in there. He's a guy who, think about this too, right? Last 2 years was Pat Kenny's backup, right? And he's been waiting to come. And Neil had a great story. He said it was the end of the year dinner, right? And he said, Coach, listen, I want to keep this going. I want to keep this tradition of great Port Washington polls. I'm going to work really hard to be that guy. And he's been a leader of the defense, a vocal leader, a captain. And now in the conference play is his chance to prove that. And he has so far here this afternoon.
Credit to him for waiting and learning, and there have been some great goalies in the Port Washington program. So, you feel like an obligation, right, to live up to it, and he's really standing on his head today.
And that was his words, right? He understood kind of the legacy and the names who preceded him. There's Christie handing off Malika, one extra pass.
Yeah, when I played at Hicksville, Steven Kusa was a tremendous goalie. He went on to play at UMBC.
Dito, 6:45 to go, 6-6. Slide comes, pass back out to Malika. McDermott wants the screen by Dernan. Gets it, fires it down low, and what a look in front.
I think he got a piece of it.
Christie can't believe it.
I think he got a piece. That's like the telltale sign as a goalie is when they hit you and you kind of raise your hand like, yep, that was me. I touched it.
I was going to say it's when the attacking player puts his hands on his head like, oh, my goodness.
What do we have to do? It's like back in the day they had that ESPN commercial with Mike Richter. I don't know if you remember it, where he cleaned off the glass right behind him. That's kind of what it must feel like right now for Massapequa.
I mean, they're firing for sure. Unofficially, again, our stats, you've got Pequa with 25 shots.
Looks like 24 is a little shaken up there as he chased that ball. Hillman.
Yeah, Hillman, he's
grabbing his calf, maybe cramping.
And he's an interesting one, too, for Port Washington, right? Because he's a guy who, and Neil doesn't quite understand it. His coaching staff is perplexed, but he's a guy who doesn't want to play college lacrosse, but he has the ability to, right? And was an all-county player a year ago. He's just steady in what he does. He doesn't try to play outside himself. He just focuses on what he is good at, which is good on-ball defense, good in the clear game, and good off the ground. Neil calls him steady as they come, and that would be a tough loss. I mean, you'd expect maybe either you can go Tyler Duran coming in. He's your fourth close D, a guy who started against Wantagh, but you've also got two pretty solid long stick middies, right? So maybe you get Alex Vavona in there, the football kid senior. So you've got some options, and you hope maybe the way that you see him you're hoping it's just a cramp, the way that he's trying to stretch out here.
Definitely, and to have a guy like Freeman who kind of, he plays aggressive, right? To have a guy like Hillman who kind of like, the yin to the yang, right? The hot to the cold. It's really nice to have a fundamental guy down there, but he looks like he's struggling.
Yeah, they'll send both teams to the benches, and we'll take the timeout with them as well. 6:30 left here, fourth quarter. Port Washington and Massapequa are tied at 6 in this Nassau Conference A showdown, presented by Moe's Southwest Grill on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
At Moe's, we've always been inviting, but we have a bigger story to tell. A place that welcomes you to be you. Fresh, high-quality ingredients. We got that. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, let's get weird. We don't judge. Moe's wants you to come in with your crew and their appetites. Dine in, pick up, or order on the Mo Rewards app. Either way, don't just stroll in, roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Welcome back to Port Washington. You see a little more steady walking as Hillman got off the field, which you like to see, right? So maybe just, again, stretching a cramp out a little bit. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper here, 6:30 left as Port Washington and...
Little 10-man ride here by Massapequa.
Oh, what a catch.
The goalie's out of the net.
Palomo nearly throws it away. And he did. As you could see there, Jacobson trying to tiptoe that line, but he stepped out.
So out of that little injury timeout there, Massapequa came out with a pressure 10-man ride, and sometimes it just speeds you up a little bit, and it forces a turnover there, and that's important. 6-6, 6 minutes to go, just about what we expected.
Yeah, these two heavyweights have thrown haymakers at each other, and still nothing to show in terms of the scoreboard. We are as even as we were at the opening face-off.
There's 37 right? Fitzpatrick, haven't really called his number a ton today. So 6 minutes to go. Let's see if he can get some of his. He's been hot lately.
McDermott. He's another guy who's got the flair for the dramatic. He's got that ability, if they need, to just put his team on his back. That's why he's the heart and soul of this team. A little shake and bake at X.
Good job by the short stick, definitely shading Malika to his left to force him to go right-handed.
McDermott goes inside, loses it though. Another flag. Oh my.
He puts defenders in such tough spots when he gets to that under move, and to me this is the hardest call for both college and high school officials, that push around the crease. He went in the crease. How did he get there? Just a tough call.
You saw the call there, a 30-second. I think it was for a push, and this is now the 8th man-up opportunity for the Chiefs in this game.
I'm just thinking about the second half. How many times has the ball been in the Port Washington end? Not much.
Yeah, I think Gennady on the other side there in the cage is having some mows right now. He's had nothing to do. I mean, credit to Port. They've bent but not broken.
The goalie has kept them in it.
Yeah, Hamroff has been outstanding. Again, unofficially, you've got him for 13 saves. Even.
13 saves in a 6-6 game is doing some good work for your team.
Yeah, I mean, he could have even more. I think we tend to sort of since we're broadcasting, give him even maybe a few less. A charge called on Radomski.
Little moving pick or
and another flag.
Talking.
And this is going to be against Massapequa, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be. I'm not sure. Some kind of delay game, or even.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it was the delay.
Or sometimes on a restart if you're too close. Big call.
Yeah, huge. 30-second here with 4:09 to go. So the Vikings, as we've said, really haven't had the ball here for much of the second half. Big chance here for Port. Oh, and they just throw it away. And maybe that, again, speaks to not having...
I was just going to say, I think the sun is out. I think the sun is bad. And I was going to say something, but I think he might have lost that one in the sun. It's definitely facing that way.
Yeah, it's facing us, and it's bad. And some aggressive riding here, especially with the man up. How about McDermott? What a job by him. Spinning, turning at midfield is Christie. Splitting defenders. Christie hit from behind, still keeps it.
Just the composure in that clear is just top notch.
And we're even.
To find a guy, to get some pressure, to find a guy streaking over the middle and to put that ball right in his stick to Christie, that's just a great job. And knowing where each other are, just teammates knowing where each other are going to be.
McDermott. Ooh, is there a backup? No.
So McDermott did a little swim move there, a little pick, kind of slid and did a swim with the 10-man ride. 10-man ride pressuring. It's like the full court press in basketball. There you go.
Oh, out the midfield. It's taken away. And here comes the Chiefs. Ducking under. Thought about it, didn't take it. 2:20. Ball's on the carpet. It's picked up. Look at who gets
back.
it. Hillman.
He's back in.
Timeout. And a great timeout called there by Port.
Timeout.
What a game we have had here.
You got a 10-man ride. You got your turnover, and then you got another stop, and Hillman comes up with a huge ground ball.
I'm going to remind everyone again of our upcoming broadcasts, and we'll be back here at Port as Syosset still trying to figure things out, but great coach, of course, and John Calabria as they'll take on Port here. We'll have that one for you, and then we have a little doubleheader on Saturday as Massapequa and Farmingdale renew their rivalry out at the Dale. And then Garden City and Manhasset, the 138th edition of the Woodstick. Manhasset coming off of the highest scoring Garden City to date last year, winning at Garden City. So you know the Trojans are looking to exact some revenge and do it under the lights at Manhasset. No better place than to do it than that.
Both teams have played some tremendous competition. Manhasset's gone to Connecticut and played Darien, right? And Garden City just had a matchup with Mount Sinai.
Manhasset's actually gone up there twice. They beat Ridgefield, and then they lost to Darien as well. Kind of that renewal. That was great to see, too. It's great to see those games back, right? Like the what do they call it? The battle for the sound, right?
Yeah.
Between Manhasset and Darien, and they've got it on the girls and the boys' side as well.
Just seeing the heavyweight matchups. I'm actually calling that Farmingdale Massapequa game. Was there any Moe's or any?
See, listen, we give
any
this
food
guy
that day?
We give this guy one burrito, and now he just keeps wanting more. Unbelievable. I'll tell you one guy who won't be. I'll get that in a second.
Zone again.
Meyer. 2 minutes remaining.
Right, Weisrick had been at the top. Now he's down low.
McCarthy hands off.
I think that's by design, right, to get him out to Meyer there and that left-handed shooter.
Low shot. Oh, Gennady with the save. Corrals the ball again.
Huge save. Hadn't gotten much action, right, to be there for your team and to stay ready and focused, right, big save.
And now you've got to clear. They got it out to midfield. A minute 30 left. Here's Radomski.
Massapequa's been very sound in that clearing game.
Timeout for the Chiefs. I was going to say, man, like the guy who is going to be really upset here today to see you chomping down on some Moe's is Jim Curcio, right? Head coach at Deer Park, right? We were out at Bayport Blue Point against West Islip, and he's like, listen, man, you feed Pinnell, right? He gets a nice meal. What about me? I'm like, listen, relax, and then here you come in with some Moe's.
I got that text last night, and this morning I got an email. All right, so nothing better than that. I'm excited to call the game and get a free meal out of it.
Well, let's see who's going to eat here in the final 123. Tie game, 6 apiece. Here's Radomski. He's got one in the day.
They're shutting off, right? So you see they're shutting off McDermott.
Yeah.
So they're going to let anyone else beat them besides the Hofstra commit.
Dito to X.
1 minute to go. Class A tie game.
They work it from X. Got some cutters. Radomski cuts through. Lefty shot wide of the cage. Shot by DiTomaso. 44 seconds. They keep it in. Throw it in front. Was there a push? As Radomski went down, it will be Chiefs ball. 39 seconds left. They'll call timeout.
So they were shutting him off with the short stick, but then when it got back to a 6-on-6, they got that matchup with Freeman on McDermott. So it's interesting to see out of this timeout what the matchup's going to look like.
Want to again thank Moe's Southwest Grill. They've got 15 locations throughout Long Island. They've got Cinco de Mayo coming up May 5th. They'll have 5 times the points through their app. First 50 customers in the store will get a free Cinco shirt. Of course, also Teacher Appreciation, Nurses Week, Mother's Day, all coming up. So it's a great time to place your catering order to show your appreciation at Moe's Southwest Grill, a proud sponsor of our broadcast today. Dylan Butler, Brian Soper here, and you can see even in the timeouts, looking at the huddle for Port Washington, and Matt Hillman still trying to stretch out those calves and work out what. That's the problem, I think, when you get a cramp, man. It is so hard. It kind of stays with you. So still trying to work it out and make sure that he's ready for this final 39 seconds.
interesting to see what Massapequa does. Right, I would think that they're gonna try to wind this clock down and perhaps get the last shot. So you're either victorious and have a big dog pile, or you're gonna head into overtime. Definitely don't want to give Haberman and Port Washington a chance to with short time to win this game.
Yeah, so here we go. It starts with, it's like that's Christie behind the cage.
Yeah, a little two-man there, Radomski. So that both short sticks are behind.
Radomski looks for options. 20 seconds. Gets it back.
Someone's just got to go hard.
Maybe a little screen set up for him.
For sure. Get that right-hand shot.
Radomski to the top. Malika low to low, and another save by Hamroff. His 14th. Flings it all the way downfield.
Oh, he's got a chance. There's a chance.
It's loose. Look out. And time winds down. That was wild. A Hail Mary thrown downfield. Missed initially by Gennady.
It looks like Haberman was like tracking that thing like a wide receiver. And it looked from up here like it was like going towards his stick, but a great job knocking it down. A save at the buzzer by Hamroff. He's unorthodox, but he is making some tremendous saves, right? Malika, step down, Hofstra commit at the buzzer. Great save.
Well, both of these teams, no stranger to overtime lacrosse in the early season. Massapequa's played twice. They lost to Southside by a goal, well, obviously by a goal, but 8-7 in their second game of the season. Then they beat Wantagh in their last game. Braden Fitzpatrick, you mentioned his name. He's the guy who scored the game-winning goal in that one, his fourth of that game. And for Port Washington, their lone free lacrosse game, if you will, was in a 10-9 loss at Wantagh. So Wantagh kind of the common opponent where they've both gone to extra time. They've both split results, and both of these teams are right in the mix of our Varsity Media Boys Lacrosse Sweet 16. We'll pull that up again. You see there. Number 11 is Massapequa, right behind number 10, Farmingdale, coming off their first loss of the year. You got Port Washington in there as well. So,
talking with Coach Neal today, that was like one of his big things. He's like, I don't care about rankings. I don't care about paper, right? It's about playing on the field, and he loves his guys as well as Coach Draper. So here we go. Let's see who's going to make a play.
Now often we see a face-off win and a quick timeout to set things up.
Again, double poles. There it is. What a great ground ball.
Yeah, who was that
Christie,
grabbed it?
right?
Oh.
Christie. There was a little bit of – he's been nicked up a bit, so that's great to see him not only playing but on a those are the most underappreciated guys in lacrosse is the wing guys who come in and scrap it up, and you got to sell out for those ground balls.
Yeah, Christie, the funny thing is when you speak with Coach Draper, he says maybe his biggest issue is that he's too fast sometimes because he makes so many moves and he makes people miss, but sometimes it kind of confuses his own guys on offense, right? He said he moves like an octopus. It's crazy. But in the open field, he's just so fast, righty, lefty, elusive, sees the field well, makes good decisions, and right there picks up a huge ground ball on the wing as the Chiefs call timeout to set things up here. And again, you look at some options, right? You had a winner late in the regular season, or late in the fourth quarter of a game that we had for you. It was McDermott getting that late winner against MacArthur, or at MacArthur, and then we just said Fitzpatrick, right, getting the overtime winner in their last game. Ironically, Fitzpatrick, says Draper, is a twin of McDermott, right? Maybe even a little more athletic, but he's got a really quick first step, a knack for getting north-south, getting to the cage. Said he is like a freak athlete, too. 275, the kid can bench.
So that's the thing about the Port Washington huddle is you come out on defense, you're like, who do we want to stop? And it's like, I don't know, who's going to get the ball? As an announcer up here, I'm not even sure.
Yeah, they locked off
who
the
guy
last
is.
time, right? Late in regulation, they locked this guy off. Here's McDermott. Again, flair for the big plays. Hands off.
A little wing here, little dummy pick.
Fitzpatrick.
Early slide.
Scored the winner against Wantagh.
this high wing here with Christie.
Oh, swim to the cage, firing and scoring! Ball game! Massapequa gets the win.
What a tremendous sequence there for Christie. You get the ground ball off the wing to get a timeout, and then you come out here from the high wing here. Just a quick jab swim, right? Gets underneath, makes it a long slide for Hillman, top corner for all the saves that Hamroff made. Right, that's a good shot.
Alma mater of Port Washington.
Aiden Christie gets the winner in overtime. And listen, you coach, you know it. How much do you love now that you've got a third guy who has had essentially a winner, right? McDermott gets that late winner. At MacArthur, we said Fitzpatrick had an overtime winner, and now Christie gets an overtime winner.
Makes them very tough to defend and gives everyone on the offensive unit some confidence that in a late game that you can go to anybody. And as a coach, as a player, right, you don't feel as though it's relying on one person's shoulders.
Christie with 2 goals on the game, including that overtime winner, which makes Massapequa now 7-1 on the year. Port Washington falls to 5-3. We'll take a quick break. We'll set up our RP3 Player of the Game presented by Whitmore Insurance when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Here, fresh is what we do. From daily made faves like guac to mouth-watering protein like all-natural white meat chicken. Go ahead, crave, customize, and enjoy with your free chips and salsa. Roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
The weekends are great and all, but we have something they don't. Our Mo Monday Burrito Deal. Enjoy your favorite burrito or bowl, plus free chips and salsa, all at a great price. We love Mo Mondays. Roll all in to Moe's Southwest Grill.
Parents and athletes, why leave your college career in the hands of amateurs? Varsity Media produces professional college recruiting videos that you can use to help land a spot on the team. Our highlight reels have proven to save thousands of dollars in college tuition. You've worked hard and put the effort into your high school athletic career. Don't take any chances when it comes to your future. Varsity Media has been producing college recruiting videos since 2010. We understand what college coaches are looking for, and our attention to detail on your highlights will separate.
And welcome back to Port Washington, where Massapequa, a huge Nassau Conference A win, 7-6 in overtime. And the guy who scored that winner is here with us. It's our RP3 Player of the Game presented by Whitmore Insurance. It is Aiden Christie. And Aiden, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Huge win, right?
Yep.
You come on the road. It's never easy in Conference A, but as your league season steps up, I got to imagine a massive start to a big week.
Yeah, well, we got to win this game and then keep it going against Farmingdale next week and all the way to the playoffs.
Got to say, you've had multiple guys step up through the season. Fitzpatrick scores the overtime winner your last game, and of course, your leader McDermott also scores a late winner against MacArthur. But was this just your day here today to get yours?
Oh, it was my first day back from being injured, so yeah, it was.
Hungry to get back, huh?
Yep, I was.
What impressed us here in the booth was, first off the face-off, massive ground ball you get, right?
Yeah.
Like, and obviously, as you know, you play so much lacrosse, playing on the wing there and getting that ground ball is so huge to set things up.
Yep, call the timeout after the ground ball, and then we set up a play and work.
So was that, walk us through what was set up there?
Well, it wasn't drawn up for me. It didn't work out, so I took the ball and I went to the net. That's really it.
Yeah, I mean, tell us the feeling. It's your second goal of the game. Obviously, it's your seventh of the year too. But the feeling when that ball hits the back of the cage.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Obviously, we just won in overtime, so that's big, and yeah, we got it done.
Yeah, man, 7-1 now on the season. I'd got to imagine probably the perfect way for you guys to go into another big rivalry game against the Dalers.
Yeah, we got momentum now, so we're good.
Well, we had Moe's, you had momentum, and it's a great way, certainly, for you. And we congratulate Aiden Christie here, the RP3 Player of the Game, presented by Whitmore Insurance. Aiden, congratulations again. Best of luck going forward, man.
Thank you.
All right, that's Aiden Christie. We thank him for joining us, and what a great game here for the Chiefs. And again, 6-6 for the longest, and Aiden Christie comes in with the win, and we bring Brian Soper back, and Brian, he didn't tell us what the play was. We know it wasn't designed for Aiden, but listen, maybe you score goals like that, maybe you're off the timeout in overtime, it does get designed for you.
But it was definitely set up that they were going to dodge from that high wing. They liked what they were getting from the high wing, and that's just a tremendous move to go underneath there, because the whole game they've been trying to get to that middle, and now you kind of change it up and you swim and go under. That's something we hadn't seen all day from anybody on the Chiefs. So that high wing was definitely the spot that Draper wanted them to attack from.
Yeah, massive win for the Chiefs. And if you're Port Washington, I mean, look, again, you play in 2 days' time, so you don't have a lot of time to rest, but you look back and you got to probably talk about some of those self-inflicted wounds, right? So many times we are man down, and even though they did a good job of killing those, it takes away guys like Haberman and those guys on your offense. It took away that flow on the attack.
Yeah, they definitely didn't have the ball enough, but if you're going to take away some positives, the fact is that you played a ton of defense. You only gave up, 7 goals? And your goalie, who had been kind of a backup for a couple of years learning, and he stepped up in a big way, and you know that's what you need, right? So you got to have some positives going into this league, and these teams are going to be in the playoffs, right? We know the Class A teams are going to be in there.
We will see both of these teams again this week. Syosset comes here to Port Washington as the Vikings will look to try to bounce back off this tough defeat. And then you heard Aiden talk about they've got momentum going in to what is always their biggest game of the year, Massapequa and Farmingdale. That'll be Saturday at 12, and then the biggest of them all, arguably, on Long Island, maybe even in the nation, certainly the longest played game. It's Garden City and Manhasset, that under the lights at Manhasset on Saturday night at 7. So that'll do it here from us here at Port Washington. I want to thank our entire crew, of course, our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our technical director, Chris Sweeney, Nick Costi, as well as Safi Paris, and of course, for my broadcast partner, Brian Soper, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We look forward to seeing you on our next Sportscast.